We live?
Okay, we're live again. So this is the problem. We're following the trail along here, and we hit this. A wall of trees. And we see this, a stop sign. Gravel, 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 gravel. A line of trees. So apparently, this is the trail that skirts around to the edge here, and we have to kind of get. Oh, you go first, Rhett. We need somebody's eyes up front, and I'm going live.
Are you still pretty good? Yep, cool.
So we got to follow this little circular footpath through the woods, ducking branches nonetheless. And apparently, according to our ground team, the trail kicks on later on. Now, this isn't so disconcerting if we didn't see massive amounts of no trespassing signs in a mile or two before we hit this part of the trail. We saw a bunch of signs that says this is not a gun-free state. So this is getting a little bit sketchy here. But we're assured that all we have to do is follow this old trail here, and then we'll pick up with the main trail again. And our road team is telling us to not worry about things like that. Oh, posted, no trespassing. Posted, this is not a gun-free state. And we're out here wandering around in the dark with night vision and a bunch of dogs and a dog cart. And I should probably not worry about narrating too much. And I should keep up with them, because if I'm going to die and get shot by somebody, I don't want to die alone. So let me catch up here. Why there would be a public trail that ends and then begins again across the whole area that says no trespassing beats me.
Where are we going?
I don't know. But this does not look like a trail. This looks like somebody's private property. And you know why I know this?
What?
Because there's a bunch of posted no trespassing signs.
What we're trying to find.
And that does not look like a public spot there.
That's a boat launch there, dude.
I know.
You gotta make a big use. Make a big use, you're not?
Bill, if I get shot, I'm going to stab you. And just to make this clear to you guys, I'm walking and looking through this same thing you're seeing. This is how I'm seeing. We're like wandering around in the dark. Some people get real lights. You see that big bright thing on Monkey's head? He gets a real light. I don't get a real light.
Hey, Monkey. Yeah. Pull that front so the light's not in the hole. Yeah. He's flipping here. Careful, don't kill it.
So where are we going?
Where he's figuring it out.
Okay.
Okay, folks.
So are you really going to promise me that I'm not going to get shot here?
Okay, folks, this is another precarious situation. Like I said, stay tuned. You never know what you're going to see here. We're all safe. We actually have our chase vehicle, the real vehicle, the truck, Chris is coordinating this from afar.
Not to be confused with
using
this
our,
chase.
Yeah, using our walkie-talkies, and Rhett's with him. Hey, here's a picture of where we're at. Do you know where we're going?
He said go left under the bridge, but we have to go over it. He said we're going under the railroad track, but
Here's where.
so probably go up and over.
Here's where we are.
So yeah, so to make Bill's long story short, we're wandering around in the dark and we're kind of lost.
I don't have a walkie-talkie.
The trail just ended.
Who's got a walkie-talkie, Sean?
I've got a walkie-talkie.
Give it to me.
All right, be careful where you're grabbing it from. So yeah, we're wandering around in the dark and trying to find, because the trail ended, and our logistics guy is sitting back in a nice comfortable truck telling us, yeah, just go here and just go there, and meanwhile we're walking around circles in the dark trying to pick up the trail again, and he's sending us pictures, but he doesn't seem to understand that we're in the dark and we can't see anything because it's dark. And you can send a picture all you want, but if we can't see because it's dark, what use does it have having a picture? So we're at a boat ramp. There's some boats, and there's a bunch of no processing signs. And for those people just signing on, I see some new people signed on. A few of us are kind of freaking out because there's all these no trespassing signs where there's supposed to be a public trail, and the signs that we saw before this was a sign that very boldly said, "This is not a gun-free state." And now Monkey's having some issues getting up this hill because this is the cart that has only one drive wheel working in the back, so he's spinning out because he's not getting a good traction. So you're going to get some juggled camera here as I push.
I would not. I would just stay down there. Chris will come to us. You guys can probably go up and then turn around. This is the end.
That's the end of the trail?
And we're WooFDriving for tonight.
That's the end of the trail.
I think I see a crispy coming too.
Alright, well, our night vision escapade has just ended.
Keep it on, Sean.
I am.
Let him see what he did.
So what's happening here is that the trail map said the trail should keep going, but
with you? Yep. You can probably.
we should probably. Look. There's a sign right here. Look, guys. Right. Look. Do you see this sign here? We do not want to load up down there.
What's that say?
This says notice private property.
Yeah, we've done that plenty of times. No big deal. Yep.
It also says no pets allowed.
Yeah, it says no pets allowed private property. We should probably not load up a bunch of dogs here.
Where should we load up?
Right over here on the other side of the tracks. We're literally on the wrong side of the tracks right now, guys. We need to get on the right side of the tracks. So let's get Monkey up over this hill, and then you guys come on up here. Let's load up here. This is private property. We need to respect that. Okay, so, sorry about that. This is live drama in action here. So, to fill you back in, the trail ended.
Show people what we're doing.
I am. I'm trying. So, the trail ended. What you just saw was us wandering around trying to pick the trail back up. The trail maps all said that the trail should keep going. Luckily, as we're wandering around in the dark trying to figure out where the trail was, a very nice couple came walking by that lives here, and they said, yeah, ignore the trail maps. It ends there. It hasn't been completed yet. So our night vision run has been shortened from about 2.5 miles that we're hoping to that little half-mile run that we did. So now we were wandering around and unknowingly, well, semi-knowing, yeah, well, we knew, private property, trying to figure out where the trail was, and decided to respect that private property's wishes and come down here on the public street just outside that property to meet up with Crispy, who's bringing the truck, and we're going to load everything up. And if there's anybody to blame for all this, that would be the new guy on the team, Monkey.
Not my fault.
This is 100% Monkey's.
100% not my fault.
Monkeys.
100%.
This
said
is
the sign
person.
said stop. The stop sign said stop. Stop sign said stop. You stop.
It's Monkey's fault.
Monkey!
And it's Zorro's fault.
It's all Zara's fault.
And Monkey's fault.
No,
it's Monkey and Zorro's fault.
Not my fault.
Zorro is the lead dog. So, yeah, so I'm not even sure what town we're at here. We have to pardon the focus on here because this is a very, for those people, I see we got a lot more new people signed on here. We're shooting through a NV3 night vision level 3 attachment on an iPhone. This is like a very high-tech piece of gear, but it's very manual. So I have to kind of keep constantly adjusting the focus ring, and it's very sensitive. We're pretty much out here and near black. We got some street lights here now at least, so we're not quite as bad as before. But we were wandering around, and the light you're actually seeing here, I can't see. We have a very bright lithium-ion battery-powered IR emitter. Now, that's a lot of technical mumbo-jumbo, so for you people that don't understand what that means, it's basically a very bright, high-tech flashlight that lets out light that human eye can't see, but these goggles can. So, what you're seeing is relatively bright. You're seeing like that flash going around. I don't see that. I'm looking out and I just see blackness. And it's very cool. Unless you're lost around a bunch of signs that say no trespassing and this is not a gun-free state. And then you kind of get a little bit sketchy wandering around in the dark, because if I had private property and a whole bunch of people started wandering around my property when I had no trespassing signs, I wouldn't be too happy. So that was over there. And as soon as we realized where we were and we didn't need to be where we were, we got out of there. We're now on the side of a road waiting for our chase vehicle to pick us up. And there's a lot of other vehicles just passed by, actually, as you can see, but none of them were Crispy. I know that Monkey is particularly disappointed because he was really looking forward to doing a couple more hours run tonight.
Oh, for sure. I am so upset.
And
really, really, really not done riding these
he
things.
really wanted to wait for another couple more hours before he had a beer. So we're going to have to, he's going to be very disappointed when we're going to force him to drink a beer an hour or two earlier than he wanted to. So,
what's everyone saying after?
He's got to pay the price.
Showman, what's everyone saying?
We got a lot of people liking, but no one's commenting yet.
Okay.
So just make this clear, if you make any comments, I can't respond easily in typing, but I can answer them live in my rambling. And then you actually give me something to talk about while we're waiting for Crispy. Other than just saying, look how adorable Princess Girl is. Isn't she the most pretty? She's a little blurry right now. I have to get, there we go. She's like, get that camera out of my face. See these IR lights? Well, we can't see them. Probably aren't too comfortable shining them in these poor puppy dogs' eyes. They're not hurting them, but it's just like somebody coming up with a flashlight. I probably shouldn't be taking this thing in. It's kind of indicative when I go up and trying to shoot them, and they're like, "Oh, go away from me!" When they normally are like,
just with the camera.
"Pet me, pet me, pet me, pet me, pet me, pet me."
Camera shy.
Your dogs are just like you, Bill. I don't want to hear it. They're not camera shy.
Okay, everybody.
After
you know
all
the
these
situation.
years.
I'm the wolf driver once again, and we're out here on a small back road. We've done the whole Lancaster County River Trail. We thought we did. And our support vehicle, Chris P., Shawman's already told you about him, has said there's more to be had. So, of course, we're trying to chase it down because these pups still want to run. But looks like we've come to a dead end in the middle of the woods. Again, what you're watching right now, it's kind of pitch black out
Could have
here.
been very much worse dead end. Luckily, it hasn't been.
But what you're gonna water them? Cool. So we're waiting for Chris to come here, and if he fabricates some kind of trail, we'll ride it. If not, we're gonna load up here and call it a night. We've had probably 6 or 8 hours of run time so far today. I know sometimes we set out to do 15 miles and take us 3.5 to 5 hours, but you never know what we're going to run into. And this trail was really windy. A lot of it was in the forest, and a lot of it we had to take the dogs off. We gave them time to free range because that helped us out getting across bridges that were kind of rickety across the streams, I guess, that feed the Susquehanna and all the tributaries that we were crossing. But it was really beautiful back there. The forest is blooming, for lack of a better term, as we move into the later spring. And it's still cool. We've been getting a lot of rain, which really makes everything green up as well. So it is beautiful scenery. If you get a chance, go back and see it. This was on our last feed. It was truly incredible. Of epic proportions. My favorite word, but I mean, a lot of planning and a lot of manpower goes into taking the dogs to these relatively exotic places all over the East Coast. And of course, you can see the sophistication with the equipment we use to film it.
Exotic. No trespassing.
That's semi-exotic.
No gun-free zones.
Yeah, so this is not a gun-free zone. So we do all kinds.
I wouldn't call that exotic. I'd call that sketchy myself. But no more comments from the peanut gallery. Keep on going, Wolf Driver.
What's up? You're interrupting my broadcast here. So
I'm the peanut gallery. That's my job.
So as you can see, we have a lot of fun out here. That's what it's all about. And it's so cool that dogs are involved in everything we do. And you'd be pretty interested to see how we do let them off leash if you didn't catch that part of it. Now, you might have catch other broadcasts of me free ranging where I run on an ATV. I'm basically running the ATV. They're running behind me or in front of me, and they're running all over farmlands. We do that a couple times a week. But this is a little different, but we do that to train the dogs for when we get into situations as we encounter today where we need to let them off leash. So right now we're giving them a little water, and we water them again every 2 to 5 miles. You can, I'm not going to say over water a dog, but sometimes watering them too much can become problematic too. There's such thing as bloat, which you have to be very careful of, especially certain builds on certain dogs. Zorro is actually, they can actually staple the stomach. Bloat can be fatal, by the way. It's where the stomach pretty much turns upside down in the dog. So Zorro's got actually the right build for bloat, unfortunately. So I've never had his stomach staple, but they can do that to prevent it. But I just choose to be very cautious. Of course, bloat can come in with food, air, water, depending how they take it in and what the situation is. So have to be very careful, which we are. But you don't want to overdo anything, of course, and that includes watering them.
All right, time for comic relief again.
What? I'm like some sort of circus animal here. Here
Your name is Monkey. That makes you a circus
Here
animal.
for your entertainment.
His name is Monkey. Can you really believe that somebody that goes by the name of Monkey just said, "Am I a circus animal?" I hate to tell you this, but you proclaimed yourself as a circus animal. Yeah, you better drive away because you know what you're full of. I say we blame this on Rhett.
I blame it on me all day long. Everything bad that happens on me.
Alright, so beers are on Rhett.
Have their money.
Alright, we blame it on Bill.
Well, you know, I am the wolf driver, and this is my party. So, we're just,
Tell you what, I want to know who to blame on Crispy not being here yet. I'd say that's Crispy's fault.
well,
Blame it on me. I'm the one holding the camera. You can't blame me. Because I'll just shut you off.
Google Maps.
I'll just shut you off.
Google Maps. Great business.
So, where is Crispy?
Dude, you might want to wedge it against the curb.
Do you have your glimpse going?
No, I have Android.
Yeah, you can do glimpse on. You can do glimpse on Android.
Yeah, but I don't download GPS. Do you have your glimpse on?
I have it on, but I don't have it synced up with him again. It only goes for 4 hours.
Me this whole trip every 5 minutes. Sean Man's phone's ringing.
I don't know why it's been pocket dialing you because it's been off.
Dude. Every time
It's
I
the
look there,
ghost.
I'm phone
I'm telling
call.
you. I'm telling you.
Don't they know I'm live broadcasting? And I look,
That-
Sean,
that-
and it
that
says his
section of
name, and I'm like, dude.
That
You're
section
calling
of that
me.
trail back up there was haunted.
Oh
It's
no!
a ghost
If
fault.
you stay tuned for later this evening, we will try to find a haunted house to take you to. That's been our latest thing. If you check out our website, werewolves.com, that's W-E-R-E, wolves, W-O-O-F-S. You can see some of the haunted adventures we do, and some of the haunted adventures we aspire to do. There's a whole listing of ghost towns and all kinds of monsters and ghosts and paranormal from every state. Pretty interesting stuff. Actually, Crispy's coming in. You want to film?
Yeah, here,
Don't get Crispy started.
Crispy.
He'll give us X-rated stuff. We don't want you to. Hey, yeah, pull over the bike, dude.
Here comes Crispy.
Got a car coming, guys.
Hopefully that's Crispy. Yeah, that's Crispy. That's our trailer making the jinglings there in the background.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Sean. Film Crispy inconspicuously for comic relief, but don't show him because he will get crazy. I won't be able to keep the feed going.
I'm not. I know better than to put him on the spot on the live
We might
feed.
get some comic relief. Yep. Got on. This is the Carabiner game. Is that not locking? That's what might have heard before. What happened?
Some two locals were coming along said that the trail ends right there, and to ignore the maps. That the maps aren't correct.
The bridge is like further up where you go underneath.
Yeah, they said you can go further, and it's just a footpath.
Yeah, it's probably like what you got started on.
Yeah.
And there's
So
that
why
big
would we
parking
do that?
lot. And then there's where it goes under the road. Under the railroad track.
Yeah, man, that was a private that we were in.
Yeah, that was private property there with 18 signs saying private property.
Yeah, you guys are
good.
walking
So,
right here. You guys are walking. Car coming.
Car coming, guys. Well, we don't know if they're coming this way.
You can go down there. They are coming this way.
Sending them down the private property. Dude, watch the dog in the back, please.
Okay. So do we sign off?
Now
Or do
let's
we
keep this adventure going. We might get some really good comic relief here. So you will load up, or whatever we do. You keep the camera rolling, and
Okay.
remember not too close to Chris. Folks, this is
All right, you're gonna be talking. You need to turn off your headlamp because I think we're starting to affect your
Folks.
MD here.
okay, folks. This is what we call. We've got a lot of personalities going on here, so kind of like a reality show. You never know what's going to come out of somebody's mouth, so excuse us.
This
if we
is
get
very
little
much a reality show. The's no kinda about it.
Yeah, this is. A
Except for
reality
this
show.
is not scripted. This is all like
Unscripted, and this isn't done by any big budget network or anything. This is actually WooFDriver Productions, and that's it. But through the love of the dogs and through just networking really well and getting some really good people here, we got some crazy stuff going on, and it's all fun, loving stuff. It's a little crazy sometimes with personalities, but that's what makes it all part of the show. So
see Jimbo in some of the older movies. You
What are
might
we
have seen
doing,
some
Loden?
crazy personalities.
we're gonna move this over.
Why don't you put the red bike up top since it fits up there better?
What Crispy figured out. The problem with that is, well, because we don't have the adapter wheel. Yeah. We're loading up, right? Put the water in the truck. So what Rhett's going to do now is he's going to prepare the truck for the dogs. What happens is he's going to fill, they have water bowls inside of the truck. He's going to fill the water bowls, and he's going to make sure their areas are clear of any of the debris or tools we might have used for our setup. And we're going to load them so they're up, they can be relaxing. Careful, dude. And they can be chilling while we do our stuff out here and loading up. But you're probably going to witness a lot of comic stuff, a lot of comical stuff. You'll see the dogs getting in the truck and everybody enjoying themselves. It's been a long day, a lot of fun, and hopefully you got to see some incredible views. Sean will give you more comic relief. Give me something, Sean.
Comic relief? I always get a monkey for comic relief because he's a zoo animal. Come on, do a tap dance there, monkey. You can do something. Now he's gonna do the plain stoic look. Alright, you're fired as comic relief. You're fired. No more comic relief for monkey.
With the dog here. Hey, Rhett, got a dog coming up here.
Oh, wait, hold on.
The dogs are gonna go crazy. Hang on.
Yeah, haven't figured it out yet.
Stay. Goodbye. Read the frame.
Yeah, Zara's finally figured it out.
Howdy, howdy.
He's like, hello there. Nobody even said hi to me when they went by.
Do hold her thing because it did come out before the carabiner. Yep. She's excited. They're, believe it or not, you know, you could do 25 or 30 miles, and when they see something, they're prey driven. So when they see something that excites them, the energy just flows right back to them. I mean, these are the working breed, and I see it defined every day in what we do. And I use that drive I use that drive because it's part of their instinct to get them to engage in what we do even more, so they actually can feed their desires, and that helps them burn their energy. Okay, they're ready? Okay, hold the bike. Someone hold the bike. I got her.
Yeah, I got the bike. Actually, I gotta stay on cam.
Yep.
Monkey, can just take your feet. The easiest way to do is go like that. Do both sides so it doesn't roll forward or back. Just kind of straddle it with your feet. There you go. First thing we always do when we're finished for the is get the dogs off, and that's what we're doing now. And then once the dogs are in, nice and safe. If anybody hasn't seen this before, this is basically a stretch excursion. Instead of just front and back door, there's a third door. And what this allows is, and then also the back section area, this allows to not only be able to bring all 4 dogs, but we can separate the dogs, because the dogs have personalities too. Princess, of all the dogs, Princess is, she thinks she's the alpha. She's really the beta because Bill's the alpha. But she's the head dog, so she can't really be transported with any of the other dogs because she tries to dominate them. Then Zorro and Chase are just sweetie pies, and they get along with anybody, so they can ride together. And then Jagger Monster with the little boy syndrome gets one whole big seat all to himself. Because he'll give them a hard time also. But if anybody ever needs a ride along with the dogs other than 2 people in the front seat, then they'll ride up there with Jag. Jag does not make a very good travel companion though. He gets very upset if you touch him in the wrong way. He doesn't get really aggressive, but you pet him and he'll melt. But you touch his back unexpectedly and he goes crazy. Now this, let me see if I can pet him and focus at the same time and hold the camera, is Zorro, and he is just the biggest sweetie pie there ever is. His night vision doesn't do too good on close-ups, and he's probably not too happy having an IR light shining. He can see it, we can't. Doesn't really hurt him, but it's just like having nobody wants to have a flashlight shined at him. But these 2 dogs are the sweetest dogs out of all of them. They get along with other dogs, they get along with people. So I'm kind of hanging here for a second. Can you take this ramp down and close the door?
Pull that out. Close that. Yep.
So I can quit babysitting, even though they're pretty chill in there right now. Puppy sitting. And here's a Jagger Monster, and that's going to be the last one. Everybody's got their nicknames. Everything left at this point is getting the two bikes down. We got some of the gears still needs to come off here, but most of the gear has been put away. I gotta get my backpack off there, but I have to do that. Can you grab my backpack off of there?
Yeah.
It's on the back of the red bike.
Keep broadcasting, man.
I'm still broadcasting. The one complication to pulling a trailer is one of the bikes goes up on top of the truck, so we have to pull the trailer off to get the ramps. We have these foldable ramps right there, and those need to attach to the back of the truck so we can get the bike up on top there. So it's a little bit more complicated when we bring the extra bikes, because we have to disconnect the trailer, get the bike up there, connect the trailer back on, get the other bike on the trailer. So it's a little bit more effort than if we're going to come out without a spare, because we can get one up on top and strap one, and we put a tray on the hitch and strap one vertically across the back of the truck. And that makes the logistics a lot easier, but then we don't have a spare bike. And if we had done that today, when we lost the wheel on one of the bikes earlier this afternoon, we would have been dead in the water. So as much of a pain in the neck as it is to do this setup, it actually saved us this time by having that extra bike. For those of you that weren't around for early in the afternoon, this is, see, there's one wheel, two wheels, three wheels, and no fourth wheel. That's where a fourth wheel should be. It's not. Why is it not there? Because it fell off in the middle of the trail earlier today. Now granted, we were kind of mountain biking it and going across some pretty rough terrain, and this is a new bike. This is a new bike, and with some new engineering, and some of that engineering failed relatively.
Well,
when I say
factory, it was
it wasn't us. It's
it wasn't even fabricated.
Yeah, the company that fabricated the bike, all their stuff handed out perfectly well, but they used some off-the-shelf items for like hub assemblies and rack and pinion steering and things of that nature, and that's what actually failed. So it was not the company that we had fabricate the bike, but the parts supplier that they used. When we looked at that component, it looks like it was a faulty tap weld, so we might be able to have some recourse on it. But yeah, there should be two wheels there, and there's only one. So when that bike was going, it was freaking awesome. Oh, sorry. This bike here that we're mounting on here now is actually a modified standard, sort of standard, like mass-produced trike that has been modified with mounting points. What we call springers that allow us to attach the dogs on it. And this was the first tandem electric powered bicycle platform that's WooFDriver ever really had, and it's been one of the most successful ones of all. So it's been always kind of the go-to, despite some of its limitations. It's been always been the go-to backup bike for quite a few years now.
Are we just gonna hide this over? Red, I need the
Dog trip camera box. Big green one.
Right now we're trying to decide if we're going to actually disconnect the trailer and hook up the ramps and bring the bike up normally, or are we just going to huff it up on top and be done with it. It's kind of the discussion going on right now, which doesn't seem to have too much resolution yet. I don't know if you can see through the window, but we can try. See some pooped pups in there. I think all you're seeing is my reflection.
No. Dog trip cameras.
The dogs, just like huskies, are just like any other dog. They're either all go or all stop. Right now, in their all stop mode. It's like sleep or run. Nothing in between. They're like monkeys. Monkeys are kind of the same way. They're either quiet or you can't get them to shut up. They're kind of the same way. Luckily for him right now, he's in the shut up mode. Even though his mouth, you can see, is trying to fight his brain's intentions. He's still kind of the dog shut up mode. So you want to keep filming this, or should I sign off and help out?
People are interested. I think we got enough guys here.
Yeah, about 25. Okay.
Yeah, I think keep filming.
The inner workings.
A lot of times you see what we're doing now in less than real time in our videos and pictures and stuff. But since it's live feed, we'll just keep it going and you'll get a better appreciation of all that we go through at the end of the night, which is half of what we do in the prep. Partly is from my influence years ago. I do event production and have lived my life for years on road cases and organization and packing of stuff. And over the years, I've slowly converted Bill over to the point from being a prodigy to almost being a road case master myself. And so a lot of what we have are just road cases, Pelican cases, full of all the different gear, and it really keeps the damages down, and most importantly creates kits so that when we're going out to do something, we always know exactly where everything is and what we need and everything we need to make it work. Let's see if I can get this NV to focus on the labels, but it's kind of hard to see at night. There we go. You can see they're all labeled pretty extensively. So when we go out on any particular run, I don't know, Bill, how many cases do you think there are at this point? 30 or 40 probably?
To a minute. Is my wife listening? There's probably about 30 to 40. And I wanted to say one thing, that some of my greatest joy comes when I look in the truck like I do now and everybody's sound asleep because they got their fill. A lot of times huskies are such a hyper breed and they're so high strung, and the biggest misconception or misunderstanding about them is that people think that energy makes them sometimes hard to train, which it does to a certain extent, but if you, through my training system, through what I've learned and developed, it's very easy. I'm sure you've heard the term, good dog is a tired dog, and that's the way we start out. But see, with the husky, they're different in the sense that you can't take them outside or her outside and play ball. Throw the ball to it, maybe they'll bring them back to you a couple times and they're bored with it. They're, like I said before, they're very prey driven. So if you work and appeal to their instincts, and you'll get them to engage more of their energy and commit to it, then that's when they'll get a full workout or a full engagement, for lack of a better term. So that's what I do with them, and sometimes it's a bit of a struggle to find different huskies, what appeals to them. We know it all has to do with being prey driven, but one husky might like to be on the sled. Most of them do, but some might not. But you have to find another way to get them. Like, I'll give you a good example. Jag loves to run. He likes to do his energy, but he's also, you could classify him as a lazy dog, relatively speaking. He still needs to get his exercise. He's still got the husky in him. So his thing, he likes to free range the most, I would say. But the thing is, when he's out there, he's again something called the economy of movement. He's moving very cautiously to not expend too much energy. So if some prey does present itself, he wants to have it in there to go chase. In addition, which I don't let him do, but in addition to that, he wants to have his energy reserve. So when the time comes to go back to the truck, he could be the first there. And that competitiveness is part of a real wolf pack hierarchy, and what again helps keep a wolf pack in line, and what keeps them in shape, what keeps them thriving and striving and inspiring them, and the appeal. So it's really not too complex, but you have to understand it kind of differently than humans think. We have the thought process to really rationalize things in our mind, sometimes too much. And dogs are just, usually either yes or no, and they're gonna want to engage or they're not. So have to learn how to work with that. But again, that's all in the training and what I do. So I love to hear your questions at any time, and that's why I set up the WooFDriver Facebook pages and all the websites, because there's so much to talk about and so many ways that I like to be involved with this, and they've inspired me in so many ways that it's just so awesome to share it, and that's what I do. So Sawman's running the camera, and we're kind of waiting around here trying to figure out, are you guys waiting on us?
We're trying to
Oh yeah. Well, he's gonna sit on the back of the trailer and ride the bike back to the truck.
Hey, if it was 90 degrees out, I'd do it in a heartbeat, but it's a little bit too chilly for that. Huh?
Yeah, he just said that. He's like, how are they going to get back? Your truck's all the way at the top.
Where's the truck?
Where we started.
Yeah, I know.
take the back off and ride like the wind.
How far is it?
But then you got to get to that one part.
Are you saying ride the trail?
Yeah.
Oh, forget that, man.
Unless,
Yeah, we're just gonna have to go back. Somebody.
technically, two people got to stay here.
Yeah, well, I'll stay here. It's all, man. It doesn't matter.
And then,
Let's go get it.
who's going to ride the transit back?
Any of these
Yeah.
guys?
And then me, Crispy, and Monkey will go? Or
That's fine.
Burning Man?
9.4 miles.
Well, in the time we spent talking about it, we could have been halfway there.
In what? The bike?
No, just two of us hang back.
Yeah,
Somebody
three
rides
go,
up,
and then
grabs
somebody
it, grabs
rides
the,
transit back.
Well, I'm gonna leave this here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Adam,
So,
So leave that with you. Me, Crispy, and then
monkey.
And then I'll drive the transit back.
Well, how are we going to get this back then?
He's
We
coming
don't
back.
know. Are you all coming back then?
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah, we'll just hang here.
And I'll drive the transit.
Hey, you got room for a monkey in my front seat?
Yeah,
Well, it doesn't really matter. As long as two people go, all you have to do is just shuttle down and get the van. So all you need is just at least two people need to go so that one can drive the truck back and one can bring the transit back. All right, monkey.
There we go.
If you're hanging here, or you riding up with? You're gonna ride with them up and back.
Up there. He's gonna bring the truck back.
Well, only two people need to go, but he can go if you want to ride up. He can. Or he can
You
hang.
can stay and just me and Crispy will go.
I'll stay.
If I don't have to go, I might as well stay.
Plus now you can do a tap dance and entertain everybody. Alright. We need a DJ, Ray.
Yeah.
Monkey's actually a pretty good DJ. And when I say DJ, he actually DJs on turntables. Turntables with records. I'm a DJ too, but I'm one of the newer high tech. I'm a digital. I'm a digital jockey instead of a disc jockey. Monkey's a disc jockey. Somebody has some like old school prima donna-ness to him there. Okay, so the problem is that we took 2 vehicles, and one is still down at the trail head where we got onto the trail. So we need to go get that vehicle. So Crispy and Rhett are going to take the truck up, pick up that other vehicle, and head back here. And then we can all get in and get going.
Where's your bag?
What's that?
Where's your bag?
Where is my bag? Did you take my bag off the back of that, Rhett?
What's that?
Did you take my bag? Is it still in the back of the bread? Yeah, we got some munchies and stuff in there. Yeah, let me grab that.
I think that coconut water.
There you go. Alright, well, we should probably go ahead and head to...
Well, no, we're going to stay here. We're going to have a party here.
Do you want any drinks or anything while you're waiting?
Well, we can try to talk a little. If people are still interested.
Yeah, we got 24 people.
Okay.
Do you want your soda or tea while you're waiting?
I'm good, thanks, dude.
Let's come over here and sit down
Hey,
at
Chris,
least.
don't back up. 'Cause you have to...
Alright, let's move over this way. So I personally want to have a seat. So, since I'm the first... Crispy's rolling my seat away. Okay. So I'm going to take the prime seat. Actually, you know what we could do? We could go for a joyride around town. We still have electric, right?
Well,
Yep.
yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Yep.
Headlights out.
We don't need a headlight. We have night vision. No, serious. Let's just go for a cruise around town and take some videos of town. Right here. Look, there's a building. There's a building. There's a building. We're in town. You know what? It's going to ghost tour. What town are we at? Where are we?
You gotta pull out your.
I've used my batteries to charge all your phones, and now my phone is dead and I can't charge it.
That's what it should be, dude.
Well, of course.
Driver comes first.
Of course. But I'm just saying I can't pull out my GPS because I don't have GPS.
I don't know where we are. Yeah, will it tell you right?
I should be able to just like hit location and it should tell you where we are. Alright, is Crispy gonna run over me? Nope, he's not. Here's somebody walking down the street. We can ask them. They might possibly know.
Probably not a good idea.
Let me move this forward. How's it going? Oh, you're home. Now you just have to figure out how to get Hetty home. And her truck's at Bill's house, so
yeah.
all she has to do is all she would have to do is get up to Owens Mill somehow, and then she can get home. I don't think she'd be too happy about that.
She wouldn't.
Are you on here, Hetty? You've been watching all this going on? I think Monkey's plan is to strand you and Bowie.
I don't
at
think that's
at
the plan at all.
the pseudo mom-in-laws.
That's not the plan.
Now, come on! I'm trying to implant something in her head to get you in trouble. Don't be ruining a very good plan I have here.
We're taking out some like a patio that somebody put in at my grandmother's house when they rented. They're getting it ready to sell, so we're just gonna do some demo.
Oh, that's cool.
That's wood.
Oh yeah, that's wood. Yeah. When are you doing that, tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Is it a one-day job or?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's sawzall.
Oh yeah.
And it's like and pack up the truck with what I want,
That's cool.
and have the rest hauled away.
That's cool. You told everyone what Monkey does, right?
I build
Monkey.
things that blow up
He's
on
a
purpose.
pyrotechnician.
Monkey burns well. Google it. There's only one of me.
What's the name of your company?
HM Pyrotechnics. Like us on Facebook.
So there you go. You got your plug.
As you can see, everybody here on WooFDriver's got some pretty cool talents, and actually, that's the reason I'm able to do all this, because I couldn't pull all these talents off myself, certainly. So, networking, through good networking, good friends, come across some really good people that have some unbelievable talents and super capable. So things happen on the trail, things happen that we can build things and make things work like we want them to, and of course incorporate the dogs like we want them to. That takes a lot of specialized equipment and training, as you see, and everybody working together just makes all this stuff happen. So it's pretty cool. Right now, this is
hopefully we will not have a need for Monkey's very special skills.
We're not going to plan to blow the thing up or light it on fire or anything. But it's kind of silly.
You know what we could do?
What's that?
Instead of having infrared emitters for that night vision, why don't we have Monkey build a pyrotechnic device that shoots flames out of the top of the carts?
Hey, why didn't I think of that?
And then we can use that to light up the trail when we're going down at night.
Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, it's kind of cool, kind of surreal. Everybody, you're watching, hopefully in the comfort of your own home or area you're in, and we're kind of sitting out here on the street. But these are the kind of things.
We're literally out on the street right now, in a town that we still don't know what the name is. I do not know where we are. I have no clue. If normally I can be like, have a pretty good presence of like, okay, I know where I am, I know how to get home. I have no idea where we are. There's a brick building right there. See that big brick? There's a brick building there. There's a boat ramp. Oh, wait a minute. I do have a little bit of a clue. The Susquehanna River is a couple hundred yards over there behind that private property sign that we were wandering around behind. But that's about as much of a clue we have.
Marietta.
Marietta, yay!
Marietta?
Yeah.
Monkey's phone actually still has a charge and comes to the rescue. So we're in Marietta, Pennsylvania, at the end of a trail that suddenly stopped, unfortunately, without any clue compared to the maps. And we're chilling out in some little backside street. But that looks like a pretty main street. I don't know if you can see that up there, but kind of where those pinpoint lights are there. That's the main street of the town. And you know what most main street put on towns have, Monkey? What? Think about it. What do you find in every settlement of at least 1,000 or 2 people in downtown? Every place has it, besides a gas station and a little mini mart. A bar.
A bar.
What does bars have? Beer.
There's no bar down
I was seeing a car pass on what you're calling Main Street about a half
There's no bar
hour.
down that street.
I bet you that 2 blocks up that way and you hang a left, you would find a place that you could get a beer. Monkey's been complaining all day that this has been the longest.
No.
This is we're going on 12 hours and he hasn't drank a beer.
We did just watch a guy walk past this way with a 6.
Battery is going low, so
Probably
That's fine, just
almost right.
20%.
yeah.
You're probably almost right, but I bet you're going this street.
Nah, we're on a back street here.
No, this is Front Street.
How can it be a back street if it's front street?
Yeah, if this is
Well,
Front
my
Street,
point is still within a
the
few.
beer's probably that way.
Within
Yeah, that's a good point.
within a walk, within a very close. Monkey had disclosed to us earlier that this 12-hour period that he's been part of the WooFDriver crew has been the longest time.
Should be sharing all this information.
And you were already on you've already been on a live feed as we solve this.
That's all I need to be known as an alcoholic. Hi, I'm Monkey Burnswell, and
I blow stuff up and I'm an alcoholic.
This is WA, WooFDrivers Adventure.
Okay, here's some new excitement. How much are we getting desperate for excitement here? Here comes the train. Monkey was saved by the train. But I'm still not letting you off the hook. 12 hours. Beerless. Alright. I think we should probably call it.
Let's let these trains go. Fill the train.
Right now we're just rambling. Can't get it to focus on the train. Maybe I need more light. Oh, battery just died on the emitter.
Hit the button. There you go.
Emitter. There it goes.
That shit's intense. They speed through there.
They do. We just crossed that area with the dogs. So, here, I'll talk a little bit. So, as I was saying, it's kind of surreal. We're here in the middle of Marietta, Pennsylvania. And we just finished
Thriving metropolis of Marietta, Pennsylvania.
We just finished up roughly 14 and a half miles of the Wolfpack. They went in the truck with Chris P. and Rhett. And we're waiting.
Come around over this way a little bit so you're in the middle. There you go.
We're waiting because we didn't have proper car transportation or truck transportation. Sometimes we'll have even an extra driver with us. Sometimes we need two drivers to be in charge of all the vehicles. And because of the setup today and people's schedule, we were only able to have the one driver plus all four of us. So that means someone had to go back and fetch the other car and bring it back here. And then we'll load up the rest of the gear. We're almost done loading up though. A lot, as you can see, goes into this. We have fun and enjoy every minute, as you're seeing now, and get to experience life in a different perspective all the time because of all the different towns and places we visit, as well as looking through the lenses of the dog's eyes. It's pretty cool stuff. And using this night vision camera, we're able to bring it to you at night, which is truly another feat. We don't have any real studio lighting here, as you can see. You're looking at it. It's pretty dark here. There are a couple street lights and house lights.
To put it in perspective, right now I cannot see Bill's face.
Yeah.
His face is totally in the dark, but you're seeing him nice and clear because I've got this IR emitter on my chest that's lighting him up in light that I can't see, but the night vision adapter on the phone can see.
Yeah, so it's really cool stuff. And it's interesting how, as I was saying before, we implement all this equipment to enable us to do the things we're doing with the dogs. So that's what it's all about. So the dogs are the central, the nucleus of everything we're doing here. And it's all designed around them. We wouldn't be out here if it wasn't for them. And as I was saying earlier, seeing them in the truck all cuddled up and relaxed, that's a great feeling because I know they got the thrill on today. And that'll last them for a day or two, and they'll be ready for more. We kept it, when we scoped out what we wanted to do today, we kept it a little on the light side, doing 15 miles, because we could crank it up to 20 or even a little further. But we did that because we want to get another run in later in the week. We're thinking about doing a haunted run where we go out on our real midnight mushing runs, where we start in the late afternoon or early evening when it's starting to get dark, twilight, etc. And we set out to explore ruins or abandoned properties, whatever the case may be, where there's partial structures there. And we have actually some different paranormal detection devices, as well as something called thermal imaging cameras, which will allow us to see it looks almost cartoony, but it's really seeing heat from what's emitted, and supposedly paranormal activities are cool, so everything else would be around it would be warmer. So we've actually, one of the first times we used it, we had an incredible experience on the C&O Canal, which is so rich in history, going back to Civil War, and even some of the settlement in the United States. Some of the places along there is so old, and you'll find all kinds of remnants, and some of the structures are uncharted territory. You can go in there because they're not boarded up or secure. So we wandered into one place, and it was just Rhett and I, and he was the man. Rhett's the co-pilot usually with me, and Rhett went in there, and what he saw on that infrared, on that thermal imaging camera, was truly incredible. It was definitely a paranormal experience. And I know you might not believe that. Believe me, I'm not really, I don't believe heavily in ghosts or anything of the sort, but when I saw that, I was like, wow. And he hightailed it out of there, no pun intended. We were with the dogs. Of course, the dogs were with me on the bike waiting for Rhett inside the house. So it was a really cool video, and if you check it out, again, I go back to the werewolves.com. That's where we do all the haunted stuff and all the paranormal sightings, etc. So we plan on a trip like that possibly later this week. I don't think Monkey will be with us. We'll be back in Philly, but the Shaw Man will be here, so we'll have some comic relief, at least some. And we'll probably normally we have Red, Chris, and maybe Jim will fill in for our driver, or there's a guy sometimes on the WooFDriver pit crew called Brock, and he's a good guy, and a bunch of people.
Swing back around because you're getting out of the IR again.
A bunch of people participate in this project, and that's what's so cool about it. Again, it's the nucleus of everything we're doing, the dogs, and so many people come in and out of it, and share their wealth of knowledge and talent and fun and personalities that makes it all fun. And that's the idea behind what I'm doing now, this kind of reality show thing, because if you could be here and witness all this, hopefully you'll learn something, laugh some, and of course, being around the dogs, you'll fall in love with them, and your sense of adventure will be totally inspired from all this. So, not to mention the breathtaking views and everything else. And that's what wolf driving's all about. So that's what I call it. But please, if you like what you're seeing here and throughout my Facebook feed, and you like the WooFDriver, go on to allwoof.com, ALLWOOF.com, because it's a plethora, which is a megatude, for lack of a better term, of websites.
22 websites we have, I think?
Yeah, oh, dude, it's like 30.
Is it 30 now?
Some are breed-specific websites. Of course,
I'm talking just WooFDriver websites.
Well, yeah, but that's still dog-friendly. There's over 30 websites. If you want me to, I'll try to name them all. How about that?
All right, you name them all.
Okay.
You have to name every single one of them in 60 seconds. Ready? 1, 2,
We've got 3,
go!
The WooFDriver website, and then there's the WooFDriver Project website, which is more like discussion I do and blogging and other tidbits of information. Some authors have contributed to the blog.
You're never going to get through them all in 60 seconds.
I want to explain it. Then there's the Woof Tech website, which is all the technology we use. And I've fallen a little bit behind on that lately. When Sean was here, Sean's a technology guy and taught me a lot of this stuff. So as he's been here, he's seen some of the equipment that I've added to the arsenal and what we've done. He's like, well, we got to put this on Woof Tech. But it's pretty interesting that, this is kind of like a documentation of my life being involved with the dogs and what it's meant to me and what I've done. But you move on from Woof Tech. You've got a couple big websites, dogfriendlytrails.com, and that's about all the trails we visited. There's a map when you pull up that home page, and it tells you, if you click on the WooFDriver icon, there's a couple icons there because I've
visited these trails in different capacities. I've visited them with musicians that have gone in the back of the dog cart. I've visited them with certain different equipment, etc. And we've done also the midnight mushing tours there that I talked about, the haunted trails. So go to dog-friendly trails. Then there's another one called werewolves.com, which is all about the haunted stuff. We have a pet trending website, which is really fun, and that's really educational because what it's about is animals, which I love, all animals. And we go and find some of the latest and most educational, fun, interesting, whatever, YouTube videos that have to do with certain animals that we do a story about, and the YouTube video supports the story, and it makes for a kind of a nice presentation and an interesting outlook on the content. So that's another website. Then I'm still thinking here. There's another one called Maximum Husky, and that's just all the extreme stuff I've done. Almost everything's extreme that I've done with the dogs, but that has taken some of the premier projects. Like we've run with horses on a track. We raced some Belgian horses on a real official horse track, and we filmed it from a cherry picker in the air and on the ground. And the winner of the race, which was the Wolfpack, actually rode in the back of the horse-drawn carriage. So it's pretty interesting, and you can check that out on Maximum Husky. Plus some of the concerts we ran on the beach. We did a mushing tour on the beach. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Then there's Husky Dog Expert, which explains all the different activities I do with the dogs. Again, they're prey-driven, instinct-driven. So that takes you for a tour of each activity and explains how it works within my realm of training them and getting them in shape and preparing them and how it helps with their behavior, etc. There's another one called I Do Get Tame, and that really goes into my training system a little more thoroughly and explains it. I guess it isolates each training point, so redefines it in some way. That's a great website too. Then there's, I'm still going, I got WooFtunes. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm dyslexic, and that doesn't mean that I write things backwards, but because there's lots of different forms of learning disabilities, my dyslexia is not being able to express myself on paper as well as I can orally. So, as I'm so excited, as you see on all the things we do, I decided, hey, I can't really blog because I don't have that capacity to write like that. So what I did was, because I love music, but I'm not musically inclined at all, started saying maybe I could write my adventures and what I'm doing with the dogs and training and everything I've done and make songs out of them. So that was pretty interesting. I hooked up with some expert musicians and production people, and I made a library. Right now there's probably, I don't know, 250 songs, all original lyrics. Now some of the music's parodied, so maybe you'll hear like a Fleetwood Mac song, like if you say dreams, I call it Dog Dreams, and All Dog Dreams or something, and that has all my words to the melody of the Fleetwood Mac Dreams song. So it's pretty interesting, and it's a good way for you to explore what I've done and for me to blog about it. WooFtunes is a really extensive website. We've covered rap, and also there's Wolf Dreams on WooFtunes, and Wolf Dreams is all about relaxation for the dogs. Like when we're done our workouts, I play Wolf Dreams. I play Wolf Dreams for the dogs. It's relaxation music, basically for humans as well as for the dogs, and I've created a whole library of that. And that takes me to another website. That takes me to another website called All Dog Radio. Now, because I've become so musically rich in everything we've done from the Wolf Dreams, even have done meditation, guided meditation for dogs. I'm familiar with meditation because I've done guided meditations myself. I'm into the martial arts, that's another thing, but in any case, All Dog Radio has about 8 to 10 radio stations that are all designed around dogs. From poetry that was originally created for me, the Wolf Driver, and to comedy. We have a station called Jamaican Me Wolfman, and that's a Jamaican gentleman who did a bunch of parodies, and he wrote those, but they're really funny. Some of them are a little spicy, so some of them are a little R-rated, but they're really funny about all the dog stuff we've done. And that takes me to, like I mentioned, the poetry we've done for the dogs. We have a all poetry website I call Poetry, P-A-W-E-T-R-Y. Like poetry, but poetry. And that's, you'll find probably more categories than you can imagine, all to do with dogs. There's sports dogs, there's working dog poetry, there's what we call alpha dogs. We did poems about each breed of dog. I think we're still working on that, but pretty close to completing it. So that's there. And then there's another website. Monkey, are you ready to dip your head in some water?
Dog, don't forget about Wolf House.
Well, Wolf House is the concert series that we did where the musicians, what I explained earlier, actually rode in the back of the dog cart, playing music on the trail as the dogs mushed. I have a special dog cart designed for this that can actually hold 4 people, but it's usually just myself in the front seat. There's another seat next to me, and the back seat's open, kind of like a bench seat, but 2 people could fit there. Usually there's one musician that gives them room for his instrument, usually a guitar. We have had 2 musicians where one will sit next to me and one will sit in the back seat, and some of the performances have been really magnificent. We've gone to places like Great Falls in Virginia, which is unbelievable scenery. And
you know who we had for Wolf House Monkey one time? Rebecca and Keith Engel. We have Rebecca playing the guitar and singing, and Keith Engel on his fiddle.
yeah,
That's great.
and what we'll do is we'll go to certain areas. We'll get off the dog cart. People will gather around, even children. And with the dogs there, the musicians will get off and start playing a little mini concert, just real spontaneous. And they'll be playing, and people come up and start dancing. It's really quite a sight, and we have some of that documented on on the Wolf Tunes website. And you can hear those Wolf House concerts, those songs we put on one of the, I think it's in the Wolf House All Dog Radio
And there's
channel.
quite a few YouTube videos, too, of them.
Got huge YouTube channels,
A couple hundred.
which have documented all this. I mean, the process of what we've gone through. And again, the technology to do that, you got to remember, the dog cart is being followed. Oh, no, sorry. The people that are filming me are in front of the dog cart with the musician in the back. We had to mic them up in a certain way that we can mix it and minimize the trail noise. But, of course, let the dogs add into the harmonies when they want it, because they were entertained. And sometimes when we did these mini concerts, they started howling because they wanted to go. So it's pretty interesting. But that brings me into another website called WooFDriver Inspired, and that's just crazy because that documents all the wildlife we've come into contact on the trails and all the waterways we've gone through, and documents the trails in a different way. So very interesting and pretty personal, because I give a lot of my view on it. You know, what I saw, I believe something is a certain animal or certain mammal, whatever, and I'll call it out what it is and try to give a little definition and match it up with
like the little kitty cat that was up in the tree. You
yeah,
swore was
when we
a
run
mountain lion.
Haunted Run, we think we saw a mountain lion. We're not sure. Shaw Man
It was a kitty cat.
thinks it's a cat, but I'm telling you, I think it's a bobcat or some kind of mountain.
It was a kitty cat.
If you can make your own.
It was a big freaking
Well,
kitty cat, but it was a kitty cat.
We definitely saw a bear. That was during the day, so that can't be disputed. But I was seeing eagles and porcupines and coyotes.
Great horned owls.
We just saw a great horned owl. We added that to the collection. So it's pretty interesting. People are just wondering what we're doing. Kind of weird sitting out in the middle of the street, and I'm giving a dissertation about wolf driving. So let me see, are there any other websites? I know there's more, but oh yeah, there's Airwolf One, and Airwolf One actually gives you aerial view of what we're doing using drones and we've used drones to capture some of the mushing we're doing, the fur wheeling, I call it, the WooFDriver on Tour, which you saw today, as well as some of the free ranging at the farms I go to, even doing the mazing chase. So that's a pretty interesting one as well. And any more websites? Well, I'll name you 3 right off the bat. There's HuskyDogLovers.com, Shiba Inu Lovers.com, and ChineseCrestedLovers.com. And they're all individually, they're breeds that are close to my heart, that I've had the fortune of working with or knowing about or being close to them in one way or the other. So I've built websites about them, and pretty interesting, cover some trivia, some basic breed info. Of course, this is all designed around the Husky. We have a Chinese Crested at home, so that's where that comes from. And just I love the Shiba. I've never had one, but that's a breed I would always consider mingling with as the Wolfpack Rose, for lack of a better term. So those websites, and come on, Shaw, man, help me. I know there's more. There's I know one. Wacky Wolf. That's all about comedy and dogs. So here's another off-the-wall WooFDriver idea, because I'm all about having a good time and having fun. Created a website all about dogs and comedy. And we actually have, I think there's like a library of 500 jokes that have been recited by faux stars. And what I mean by faux stars, there's Jack Nicholson's voice on there. There's Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice on there telling jokes. There's Elvis's voice on there telling jokes. And each joke is listed one by one. And
that crazy clown guy.
And then there's a whole section. We had Booze and Bozo. So Booze and Bozo is a clown that actually recited some pretty funny dog scripts. And he was a little buck wild himself. I like to get him out on the trail with us because he's very entertaining. So there's a lot of skits from him on there.
You're more entertaining than a monkey, believe it or not.
That's hard to do. But Booze and Bozo is quite a character. So he's on there, and there's actually, I just added to...
You let him drink.
Booze and there's no stopping.
Yeah.
So, but dude, we keep him in the studio. He doesn't come out with us. And
Don't
then,
drink and drive, kids.
the latest edition on the Wacky Wolf website. And by the way, it's called Wacky Wolf because when I was a kid, I used to collect Wacky Packs, and I loved them. The Wacky Packs were parodies or making fun of all the different major brands out there. On Wacky Wolf, I just added a whole video section, which consists of 4 videos, which is kind of making fun of... We've all been in uncomfortable situations when we see some of these ads on TV, which deal with different sexual...
Innuendos.
What's that?
Innuendos.
Whatever you call it. So we had a little fun with it because, as you know, dogs have different... They'll hump other dogs and other things they do. So we had a really good time with this. It's a section on there called, I think, Husky Dog Disorders. And just poking a little fun, having a little fun with it. A lot of laughs you'll have on there. There's so many things I can't even name them all. I mean, it's massive. That brings me to the other website called All Dogs Zen. Now, All Dogs Zen is the opposite of Wacky Wolf in many ways. It's all about the relaxation with the dogs. I was talking about the guided dog meditations and everything that happens with the dogs to relax them, and that's such an important and integral part of what we do, because all this exercise and this energy drained from the dogs, I believe in heavy recovery and recharging their batteries in the right way. You know, there's sleep. Is it really sleep? Are you maximizing your sleep? And that's what it's all about with All Dogs In. There's a new section we put on there as well, where part of the WooFDriver Pit Crew, one of the ladies we work with, she is actually in school about therapy and how dogs are used for autism and different, I guess, diseases and disorders, whatever, how dogs can help, how they're therapeutic in many ways. And it's a pretty interesting section, and actually she'll take any questions you may have as she's learning and becoming an expert. Very, very educational and interesting stuff. So that's all on there as well. And there's other stuff I'm sure I'm forgetting because it's getting late now and I'm getting talked out. But there is another website on. Oh yeah, I love the wolfpack.com. So Sean, I'm getting them all. I mean, not 60 seconds, but I love the wolfpack.com. Is about each one of my dogs.
Your 60 seconds are so long up.
The dogs I've had in the past, they're on there as well, to the dogs I have now. And there's all kinds of songs about them, and there's even a fan club. And you too can send anything you'd like to them, or through electronic or through snail mail, whatever. But some interesting, funny stuff. Another one.
Geocache.
What's that?
Geocache too.
Geocache. Dog Geo. So as I try to inspire everybody to adventure with their dogs in some way, I realize people, not everybody's going to put together a crew like I'm doing and go to all these exotic places. But what I've done in the past, and I hope to continue to do, is I don't know if you're familiar with geocaching. That's where people bury a cache somewhere, and they give you GPS coordinates, and you go and find it, and then you leave a cache for the next person to find, kind of like a treasure hunt. Only mine's a little different. These are places that dogs are allowed to go and probably recommended. So they're WooFDriver approved, and I'll leave a dog geo there, what I call a dog geo, and you would go and find it and
certain prizes would be rewarded. So if you go to doggeo.com, you can see that. We've even had some WooFDriver pit crew members lay them in other dog-friendly places where they go with their dogs where I haven't quite made it to, such as in South Carolina, etc. There's also snowwolves.com. Snowwolves is, I call Snowwolves like the alter ego of the Wolfpack. That's the playing musicians. Again, I'm heavy music presence here. So the dogs have their own alter ego for each snow wolf, and they do some musical performances, and it tells about each one. It's pretty interesting, great for kids, etc. I know there's more, but
considering that I built like 90% of these things, I should remember them, and I can't remember them at this point. You've hit all the major ones.
There's probably a couple we did. By the way, there's alldog.com. Alldog.com is it's more of a media directory, which we're still developing. So if you say, I want funny poems, you'll go there and find funny poems. It'll take you to it. Because the websites are so expansive and there's so much content, this is a way to find it all through this.
Called a portal.
Portal, exactly. And, there's howtowolfdrive.com. So that is pretty much explains to people how to get involved in some of these activities I'm doing, gives them recommendations, and breaks it down a little more into layman terms. That goes to another website, which is WooFTracks, the WooFTracksStore.com. And WooFTracks is where I sell some of the equipment, actually. And the reason I sell it, it's not a big thing of what I do, but a lot of people, I couldn't find top-end equipment of what I wanted to use for myself, and it was not currently available, so I had to go out of the country, and it was a long story. But so I said, you know what, if I'm buying it for myself, I'd like people to be able to buy it, so I put it in the store. That's on WooFTracks. It's under Big Commerce. What you would do is put Big Commerce and WooFTracks in the Google search engine. And also we have How to WooFDrive, and there's BillHellman.com. That's about, you're looking at him, the WooFDriver, but that gets to know me on a little different of a level and kind of like a directory to what I do and what I've done. So articles on there about me, and there's all kinds of pretty interesting information. It gives you a little martial arts background on me, etc. And in addition to that, it takes me to another one called WolfStoria.com. And WolfStoria, just like it is, it's stories about the dogs, my dogs, other dogs. Very interesting. A lot of it's fictitious. Great reads, though. And
I'm going to interrupt here for 2 seconds and say that the battery is going to be dying any minute here, so if you suddenly cut off, you got 19 viewers currently.
Okay. Yeah, the battery is going out on us, and we've been broadcasting for a while. So if we do cut out, I'm just saying this is the WooFDriver, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And I will touch base with you. One of the most important things, don't forget to join my group, which is called WooFDriver Unleashed, where you'll see a lot of this behind-the-scenes stuff like I'm talking about now. And you'll get some views and more of my personality that sometimes is not reflected on the regular WooFDriver Facebook page.
Back around this way. You can have the light.
It's a Facebook function, and it's cool to be part of, and you can post in there, and more personalized experience as well. So we are probably going to lose the battery on this, and because the big truck's going back to get the other truck, we don't have the resources right now to stay up and running. So that's pretty much it. What percent are you at?
I hit okay to 10% quite a while ago.
10%. Oh, you did? Okay. That's pretty good. So how about it, folks? How about any questions? I mean, I still probably didn't name about 10 of the websites, but I think I need a drink. Not a heavy drink, just some water or something, which I don't have here. But you have any questions, any comments?